Hey guys, welcome back to Flying Dutchman videos. This is the video for hunting the Firehawk. As you can see, I've edited a bit, put some fast forwards bits in to cut out the boring stuff and get us where we need to go, which is what's it called again? Frostburn Canyon. That's where we need to go. Let's take the car here. The canyon is right behind the bandit camp you saw in one of my previous videos where we did the name game. Just have to get rid of these bandits, and this is where I find out that using fire elemental weapons against bandits with fire resistance is not a good idea. Unfortunately, I only had, well, mostly only had fire weapons on me, so I had to let the elusive bee take care of these guys for a bit. Yeah, like I said, this is not going too fast. In all honesty, I should probably have used the shotgun in that slot instead of the pistol. Pretty close up damage, considering most of the environments here are fairly close quarters. Or at least these guys get in your face, but we managed to get through. Like I said, this was originally this was a very long video. I think I recorded the name game quest and the Dr. Z quest and this all in one go, and I think it eventually ended up being about an hour and a half of footage. And even with the previous smaller quests cut out, this was still about 45 minutes of footage. So I've cut most of the stuff out not relating to this quest, and I've fast forwarded and even cut out dull bits in this one, but it's still about 25 minutes long, so buckle up and get ready for the ride, because this will take a while. It is a long quest, even though you can get lost quite easily if you're not paying attention because of the cave system in this map. And as you see, at one point we had to backtrack quite a bit. Overall, these are all fairly straightforward fights. You just need to watch out in this one because there's bandits and spider ants at the same time, which means if you get like hit with a spider ant bolt, one of those web bolts, your vision gets obscured and it makes it hard to actually fight the bandits at the same time. If this is your first time playing Borderlands, spider ants are very vulnerable in the back, near the egg sac or whatever that is. So if you phase lock them or whatever, use your action skill on them, make sure you move to the rear so you can actually hit them there, which will do critical damage. You can take them out much easier. Fast forward a bit. Incinerator camp is a bit harder than what we just did because there's Goliaths there. Again, if this is your first time playing Borderlands 2, Goliaths are kind of berserker enemies that have a mask on their head, and once that mask comes off, they go nuts. They turn into a more powerful version of themselves, and the more damage they take, there's a couple of the berserk stage has a couple of mutations, so it gets worse the more damage they take, and they evolve sort of. So once that helmet slash mask comes off, you need to take them out quickly, unless you're farming them, which is I think that plays into a certain type of Goliath, which carries a doll ammo crate on his back, which contains weapons, and I think if you farm them to get them to the highest Goliath stage, you actually get more powerful weapons. So there are some gameplay considerations that come into it, but they're quite rare. So normally, unless you're using them to take care of your enemies, you want to take them out as quickly as possible once that faceplate comes off. See here that they double wield weapons, so they're quite dangerous enemy, especially for classes that have to get more up close to them, like the Berserker and the Commando. is what happened to Elusive once he was actually engaged in combat with one of those. Strangely enough, I think it was because he started crawling away, but I was healing him and all of a sudden the healing bar stopped progressing for some reason, but luckily enough he managed to kill the enemy in front of him, so he got back up on his own. Elementals are a good choice against Goliaths because you might not be able to like stay in front of them the whole time because they're dual wielding. So if you have something that applies some kind of continuing damage to them, you can actually get out of the way and still do damage to them. These guys are annoying as well. They drop some good loot though. So overall, like, fairly tough fight if you're just into the game, but you get some good loot from around here. Some greens, and I think there's some chests here. You'll see in a bit. I didn't know about this, or maybe I did, but I forgot. But Elusive points out there's a weapons chest on the roof of the building he's in now. There's another chest here. I'll help him out for a bit. So if you're fighting one of them on their own, try to not shoot. Like it's a trade-off because the face mask protects the head, and of course if you hit the head, you're doing critical damage. But if you hit the face mask and it comes off, then he'll start to evolve, which is dangerous. So if you're fighting one of them on your own, I'd almost say try not to get headshots, and you'll be fine. This was weird for some reason. I think those stairs were bugged or something, because I couldn't come up. But yeah, that's where the chest was. Elusive pointed out on the roof of that shack in the middle of the canyon. Again, these are some fire resistant enemies, so watch out. Unfortunately, I mostly had fire resistant weapons, which was a bummer, but eventually we made it through. So I switched to some basic type weapons here. For some reason I had two SMGs, and the second SMG just sucked. Like compared to my first, which wasn't even a good weapon, like from a standpoint where you're further along in the game. But that second one just really sucked. It only did like 10 or 11 damage points. Not even that good of a elemental effect. Luckily, after this fight, Elusive pointed out to me there's SMG that I think spawns around here. I don't know if it always does that, but that is a very good gun. And if you show you, I've kept that segment in the video to show you where to get it if you've not seen it. Again, I don't know if it always spawns, but it's a very good gun for what it does. It's not an elemental weapon, but it's a very high rate of fire and a good magazine. So. You can find it by going left downstairs in the little river you see in the left-hand side of the map here. I didn't know about it, so Elusive showed me. Even if you have better weapons, it's a rare, so you can actually sell it for some good money if you want to. Fast forward through this a bit, and this is where it is, in that little pool. As you see, I'll equip it in a couple of seconds, but the fire rate is ridiculous. Try not to always, if you I think it's always a trade-off. Like some weapon stats may be deceiving because the damage is not that good, or you think it is not that good, but combined with a very high rate of fire, that compensates handily for like a lack of damage per shot. So try not to focus solely on damage per round, because that might be a bit misleading. Of course, it's important when you use snipers and that kind of thing with low ammo count and a low rate of fire. If you're looking at SMGs, damage output is misleading, in my opinion. Now assault rifles as well. Even to a degree, shotguns, because not all shotguns are equal. Of course, some are very high rate of fire, some are like 2 shots and you're done. so that's a bit more of a mixed bag. But yeah, like try to like get a good look at weapon stats before you discount something as discard something as not good or.
I love my powers.
Normally, a bit up ahead here is a well, back where I was before I started this fast forward bit. There's a mini boss you can get a challenge of if you're looking for that kind of stuff. You have to kill him without killing any one of his minions. I believe he's elemental. I don't know if he spawns all the time. He certainly spawned in my first playthrough as a Gunzerker. It's not that hard, but if you're trying to kill him without killing his minions, then the fight becomes quite a bit harder because you have to evade them while at the same time making sure I think he's elemental Spider-Man doesn't mess you up by using elemental attacks on you. Yeah, as I said, this has a ridiculous high rate of fire for SMG, which compensates very well for lack of damage. I think even though it doesn't have that good damage output per shot, it still had better damage than my elemental SMG I was using before I found this. So overall, it works much better against these guys than my elemental SMG. So the lesson learned from this, I guess, is always carry a good mix of weapons so you can switch on the fly to something that's more suited to fighting an enemy at hand. So you're not stuck with, like, say, a fire weapon against fire enemies or corrosive against corrosive enemies, because that just won't work.
Those disgusting marauders who operate out of the Odal Dam.
So yeah, that was the breaker box for the that little electrical fence that's in front of this box. It's not the best weapons I found in this, but still you can sell them for some good money. Of course, the weapons you get from chests are random to a degree. I think it's always like within a certain level or certain like stat range. But within that range, it's always random. So you might find better weapons than I did, or not. Looking at my challenges for a bit. I thought I could like make it appear on screen, but that didn't work for some reason. Fast forward here for a bit. Again, being a dumbass and trying to make it appear on screen for some reason, but I thought that would be possible, but apparently not, because it said track challenges, but again, bit of a firefight here, not that interesting, but at least I found a customization item, and there's a chest further along the camp, which had, in my case, had some fairly interesting class mods. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check that chest out. Could be it drops something entirely different, but so after that we had to do a lot of backtracking. I've cut that out and gotten right back into the firefight. I've chosen for one of the skills that turns your phase locking ability into I think it's not directly related to the phase lock, but if you kill an enemy while in phase lock, some health boost will drop out, which is of course a very handy squad skill. It's also a very handy individual skill, but especially if you're playing in a squad and your squad mates are low on health, you can give them a little boost. Because in my I play the Siren staying back a bit if I'm playing with a squad with a team, so I can provide like support and not get up too close, because that's dangerous for a Siren, because you're more fragile than say a Commando or Gunzerker. See, take these guys out. Elusive actually told me there's a sniper there, and for some reason I told him I already looked at it, but it was the little rocket launcher thingy.
Let me explain something. Even if you do rescue Roland Firehawk guy, the Crimsonators exactly want this world. You know what? I think you deserve a little hint. A secret involves your genetic resistance dying.
Silence.
Nothing. A lot.
There isn't much to get in this spider fight. There might be some stuff around the camp, but certainly no pickups. I still thought it would be a bit interesting to watch for you guys. So again, if you manage to trap or immobilize or I don't know whatever, slow a spider ant down for some reason, get to its rear because that's where you do the critical damage. The little crest they have in the front, like on their head. Actually, I think that might be resistant to physical damage. So try to avoid hitting that. You'll see, like it does. It's the difference between like 10, 17, or 60 damage, which is quite significant.
You won't enjoy this.
So to the left of where I am now, this little guy, this little skyway, there's a weapons chest. We'll return to that later. Just take care of these guys first.
Calm down.
So if you don't, you'll get hit while you're actually trying to decide what weapons to pick up from the chest, which is a bit unfortunate. You should see, like, Elusive's weapon, I think it's a sniper, has a bit weird bouncing effect. I didn't find out what kind of weapon it was, but... So that's the chest here. That's it.
Stop.
For some reason I thought the switch would actually do something. I think it was from a mission you come back to later in this canyon, which has you do something with that switch, but I'm not sure. You do use it at one point, and I just forgot what point. For some reason, like, psychos take, at least these guys, badass psychos, take very little damage from grenades, if you've seen a bit.
Shut up.
I end up, like, beating this guy up. So there's a little track to get to the area where the Firehawk is. So don't worry about taking damage, because there's a vending machine that will allow you to buy like medkits and whatever. Dr. Zed's that little vending machine. Sell some crap off if you have excess stuff. Get ready for the fight. So it turns out the Firehawk is actually Lilith, like, kind of obvious, but okay. This is not too difficult of a fight. You won't be fighting her, just a bunch of bandits that show up and you have her help, so especially if there's more than one of you, that's actually fairly easy. Just for example, since Elusive is a gunzerker, I stay back a bit and provide support to him, because there's a bunch of good vantage points in the central like circle you can get up onto, and provide support with sniper rifles and your phase locking skill.
I need to pick me up. Give me some iridium. Yeah, I should have some.
One of my strong boxes.
I thought Elusive would actually pick this up, but for some reason it was on the other side where I just came from, which is he's actually just picking it up.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Give it here. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bet you're looking for Roland.
So yeah, it turns out Lilith is a bit of a iridium addict. No problem for Maya. I actually figured, like, since you were playing as Maya and Lilith is also a siren, that'd be some like extra dialogue or whatever, but apparently not. It's a tiny bit disappointing, but like it's not a big deal. Because apparently, like, according to the lore, there's only supposed to be about 5 or 6 sirens, I forgot, in the universe at any one time. It's like, if you're a siren, you meet another siren in that big universe, that's kind of a big deal. But I think Gearbox didn't want to spend too much time on that. So yeah, as you can see, just stay up here if you're a siren and provide support. Or if you're not like if you're not supporting anyone, you can still get up here. You just don't have too much space up here to actually avoid getting hit by like thrown projectiles or whatever. So watch out if you do choose to come up here. It's a good place to like take pot shots at the badass psychos and whatever. I think that guy had like 3 elemental effects going at the same time. So yeah, basically just like arena defense. You're in this little small arena, and this is basically a wave game like Horde in Gears of War and whatever. This fight would definitely be a lot harder if Lilith wasn't here, because I think even just her appearing in one of these little circles does a splash effect on the bandits there. I didn't like the first time around didn't pay that much attention to like the flavor text these guys have, but it's pretty good. Sounds a bit like the Joker, like as he was like I think he had Mark Hamill in the Batman games. I know he did it in the cartoon, but I'm not sure if he did it in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I think he did, but these guys sound pretty much exactly the same. Well, not exactly the same, a bit more ridiculous, but.
Fun. Feeling tapped out though. Could you give me another hug, Iridium?
Feeling the itch.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Give it here.
It's a bit like superfluous, actually. Like you're done fighting, and then you have to like go track down more Iridium. Especially like given what follows, it's a bit unnecessary because she's not actually like.
Since the vault's open, my siren powers have been getting a little awesome, thanks to this Lydia stuff. No idea why. Now let's talk about rescuing my boyfriend. Oh, ex-boyfriend. Before the Bloodshots happened, Roland was getting intel on the vault and what Jack plans to do with it. You have to find him. I gotta head back to Sanctuary, keep the city in one piece while Roland's away. But first, I'm gonna teleport you to the Bloodshot stronghold. That's where they're keeping Roland. You'll catch him by surprise and have a real advantage. It'll be great. Hold still. I just moved you like 10 feet, didn't I? Sorry.
Teleport failed. So yeah, that's the end of this walkthrough, this
You're doing
mission.
good out there, by the way.
Please watch my other videos. Please rate, comment, subscribe. It helps more than you guys know, because I'm hoping to get like my channel off the ground, do some more and more professional videos. So anything positive helps me achieving that goal. So thanks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.